Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is another exciting installment of the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm here with the franchise player, Double B Bad Blood, joined by the returning mixologist himself, Mr. Chemical Julian, and your boy in the chair, Superboy Shane Husky. Welcome to the AEW Dynamite review recap, bro.
Dynamite.
I gotta say this, man. Wrestling's been
Dynamite.
on fire this weekend.
Yeah,
I don't know about Dynamite.
I know the catchphrase.
Wrestling has been on fire this week, man. From Saturday's SummerSlam. Keep saying Survivor Series. From Saturday's SummerSlam to fucking Monday Night Raw being lit to tonight. Right. AEW Dynamite delivering as usual. Man.
Tony Khan's like,
ooh,
I
like it.
Tony Khan's like, hold my cocaine. I got
guys,
wow. Those are the alleged comments of Shane Husky himself, not those of the Roundtable Person podcast.
Much like in life, a high tide raises all ships, and the better each federation does or each promotion does, the better it is for everybody, especially us, the fans who watch this shit for 20 hours a week.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, we're here for you guys because we love it.
So I mean, we can jump right into it, man, because this was like this was heat from the very first match. We're talking Orange Cassidy, man. Orange Cassidy comes out, he does his thing, he's out there doing his thing, and just I don't know, man. Ever since Forbidden Door, Orange Cassidy has not been booked the way he should be booked. Jay Lethal, of all people, came out there and defeated Orange Cassidy. Man, it was a very entertaining match. I don't understand what Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends have to do with the TNT champion Wardlow, but apparently now everyone's welcome to Wardlow's world.
So I can explain this.
Please do.
Yeah. So, what do they have to do with Wardlow? Absolutely nothing. But Wardlow doesn't really have a feud.
No, he doesn't.
And neither do the Best Friends anymore. So
or Jay Lethal.
Yeah. So the whole thing between Jay Lethal and Orange Cassidy being out there. I mean, Jay Lethal's got his little group with the big Indian dude and with Sanjay Dutt. And Jay Lethal just lost this weekend. His team, I should say, lost to Ric Flair and Andrade. So
I don't want to talk about that. That was crazy.
That's a sidebar, but
that's a whole different kind of worms.
But anyway, he lost. He and Jeff Jarrett lost.
That match was dreadful of Ric Flair's last match. I heard about it and I visualized it. I was like, yeah, that and Taker stared him down like, you want to go another round? Like, no, don't encourage him.
Bro,
don't encourage him.
I told Cass when he messaged and said he was at the show, I said, man, why did you go to that show? Are you there to witness a murder? You about to become an accessory?
Oh
my God.
Look at the chat. Look at the chat.
Yeah, that's a question. Who would Julian take on a date? Heath Slater or Madcap Moss? Julian. Who would you take on a date?
There's only one person I would take on a date. And it's neither of them.
But the point is, you really want that.
Man.
The thing is, do you really want that Ring of Your reunion, or do you want that Madcap Moss push? See, that's the thing you gotta choose.
You gotta choose, Julian. You gotta choose, bro. You gotta choose.
You gotta choose.
Hey, you know what? I want that 3MB reunion.
Oh, you want that 3MB reunion?
I want that 3MBZ.
So you want to
take 3MBZ.
So you want to text Jinder and Drew and say, "Hey, I got an idea. Come meet me at this round table."
Come meet me at Denny's. I got something to tell you.
I got something to tell you. Oh man, he wants that. Bring him reunion.
Yeah, so I really do think that if Ric Flair is to have a second last match
No.
With Undertaker. It'll be perfect.
Really?
If they do it in LA, it can be sponsored by Angela's Funeral Home.
It can be at the Harrison and Ross mortuary.
Hey, they'll supply the casket and the little fan with Ric Flair's face on it.
Hey, not only that, it will be presented by Domino's Pizza.
It could be a little fan. On one side, it says Harrison and Ross mortuary. The other side, it says I was there.
It's got Ric Flair going, ooh.
Hey, I meant to text you. I meant to tweet you guys earlier. I saw this Ric Flair thing. It's a Ric Flair drip, right? It was Flair. It was Flair smoking some weed. And they were like, yo, how's that drip? And he was like, woo.
Rick, please do not do what the fuck am I watching? The title should be the Ric Flair's last match for real this time. That's
man,
what it should be
please
called.
God let it be for real this time. I'm sick and tired of watching Ric Flair.
Woo! Taking way too long.
He's a woo.
I'm already blown up, brother.
I'm tired of seeing the people's videos doing.
Oh my God, yes.
They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it right. Like, come on, stop.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this right now here live on the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast, do me a favor, get in the chat, tell us where you are, shout out your city, your state, your place. Answer the question: who would you like to see Julian take on a date?
Right?
Would it be Heath Slater or would it be Madcap Moss? What do you guys think?
What do you guys think?
Heath Slater, Madcap Moss.
Mm-hmm.
Or will Sami Zayn get jealous of both of them and Sami Zayn was
wow. Will Sami Zayn get jealous?
I think he would.
In the chat, King of the Indies. He
Madcap
said Madcap.
Moss. Oh wow.
Madcap. It's a Madcap.
Sammy be like, I'll play that.
I don't play that.
Sammy gonna get pissed.
You know me.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Omos, because he's so big. Omos, because he's so big. Hey, so we talked about this, about people not getting a push. You realize Omos hasn't been seen since Vince McMahon retired. Adam Woods in the house. He's a Costa Rican sensation that swept the nation. Julian, the Costa Rican. that's his new tagline.
Julian, the
Costa Rican sensation that swept the nation.
Right here.
Yo, that's a shirt. That's a shirt idea right there.
I'm a
Adam Woods.
Oh.
Do I got to put on the vacation hat?
Oh,
vacation hat.
Shit.
Oh.
We're going to put on the vacation hat.
Panama Jack up here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, man. Costa Rica.
I need to know one thing. Did you bring me some rum, Costa Rica?
Did you bring me some Taco Bell?
Did you bring some bourbon? Did you get some bourbon?
Hey, man, look. I added you to the Bourbon Brothers group.
I know.
Recommendations. I got a buddy of mine getting married in 2 weeks. So I brought back for him a bottle of Hennessy Pure White.
Ooh.
That you cannot get in the U.S. So I went to duty free and I hooked them up. I bought 2 bottles, half one of them is gone. That's mine. And the other one is for my dude. So man, next time you come into town, we're gonna partake in some Florida Canya 25 year.
There's a certain trip to Vegas coming up soon.
Oh yeah.
I will hit you in your DMs. I'll shoot you a text. Yeah. So you can bring that sensational drink.
If you see a guy that looks like me, just pretend that it's me. That is
it. Shane, stop it, Shane. Stop it right now, Shane. Just stop it right now.
And not sending me a random ass tag saying, "Hey, Shane, where you at?" You know damn well.
Okay. That was Adam Woods. That was all Adam Woods. He said, "Send it to Shane."
Someone could have bought me a plane ticket, but no.
Oh my God! Look at this. Julian hat looks like he's kicking that.
Welcome.
Oh my god, him and Carlito's brother still in
Y'all,
timeshares.
Anybody looking for a timeshare?
Welcome.
How is your boy?
Julian was Costa Rican cool. He wasn't Caribbean cool.
Man, Epico Primo. I miss those guys. Epico Primo.
Oh man,
where the hell are they?
No, you don't.
Shit.
So tonight, Chris Jericho beat Wheeler Yuta. Not really happy about that, but I want to talk about Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter and Thunder.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I love Jamie Hayter and I love Britt Baker. They came out wearing matching gear. They look like a legit tag team. And with Madison Rayne now being the person in charge of the AEW Dynamite, of the AEW Women's Division, they're gonna flourish. The women's division is about to pop off, bro. You know what happened? Tony Khan was chilling. He was watching SummerSlam, and he was like, "Oh shit, Bayley's back. Io Shirai is up there. Motherfucking Dakota Kai, bro. Bring Madison Rayne. We need to get us a fucking women's division on point."
Madison Rayne.
We all know, man. Madison Rayne's been around for a while. She's done a lot of big things in this industry.
Wasn't she part of the beautiful people in Impact?
She was part of the beautiful people.
But
other than that, Madison Rayne she was a very integral part in the rise of the women's division in AEW. Not AEW and Impact. I mean, let's talk about the news real quick. Let's get into this news because Tony Khan has done some cool shit. Okay, effective today, Tony Khan not only brought up Pat Buck, who's helping Tony Schiavone, who's helping QT Marshall, who he's also brought up Sanjay Dutt. All of these guys have specific jobs that are going to help make AEW better. So let's go from the top. Sanjay Dutt has been promoted to Vice President of Production and Creative. Okay.
All right.
This basically is a job that Triple H was doing for WWE for a long time before the incident. He was basically part of the creative team. They're like a liaison between the creative team and the actual fucking talent. It's always good, in my opinion. It's good to have a talent be part of something like this for the simple fact that the talent knows what the fuck the other talent wants and needs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't Sanjay that part of creative for Impact?
WWE. No, for Impact, he was. Him and Pat Buck. Pat Buck was the guy that did a lot of Impact wrestling stuff. So speaking of that, Pat Buck he's been promoted to Vice President of Talent Development. Pat Buck basically is the guy. He is the man that's going to help manage the show elements, including planning, programming, storylines, character development, overseeing extras, and all the shit that goes on at the live events. Him and QT Marshall are doing that.
Nice.
QT Marshall's been the guy who's been doing it. And the dude, and honestly, man, QT Marshall is a AEW original.
He's a smart dude.
Believe what you believe. You may look at him and say, okay, this guy's a shit worker sometimes in the ring. That's
smart.
His gimmick. This dude's been around for 20 fucking plus years. The guy knows the business. Pat Buck's the guy who's been around for God knows how long. The guy's done everything. He's going to be one of the guys that's he's one of the guys that for 20 years has been a guy who's served as he served wrestling promotions as a talent, a trainer, a producer, and a fucking promoter. So the guy knows the business inside and out. Wow. Tony Schiavone, y'all know Tony Schiavone, man. He's been promoted to senior producer. He's been promoted to senior producer and special advisor to talent. In this role, he will work directly with talent as part of the talent relations team. Schiavone has been a guy who's been around fucking 40 plus years in professional wrestling. The guy knows a lot. The guy's experienced a lot. The guy's worked for WWE, WCW. Right. The guy's been around for a long time. Okay. We got Chris Daniels, who's doing the himself has 30 years of wrestling experience.
Yeah.
He's part of the talent relations group as well as the working with the talent. He's the manager of the talent relations, basically working with talent when it comes to contracts, when it comes to the behind the scenes, the back end stuff. You guys think just being a wrestler, you guys come on TV and that's all cool and everything like that. But no, there's a lot of shit that goes behind that. There's how you get to your shows, how you pay for food, how your travel is, all that shit, hotels. Someone has to take care of all this stuff. That's a pretty hard fucking job.
Tony Khan can't do this all on his own.
Yeah, Tony Khan ain't doing it all by himself.
You're being a travel agent for a whole bunch of folks.
That's good.
Basically, and make sure they get paid and all the other good shit. That's the man that I want to be friends with. Yo, make sure I get my con coin. That's all I need to know. Then you got Madison Rain. And Madison Rain, bro, she is coming on AEW as a coach, and she's going to be in charge of the women's division. Okay,
That's great.
She kicked off her role tonight there in Columbus, Ohio. She's competed in numerous promotions around the world: WWE, Impact Wrestling. She's held multiple women's championships. She's been around the business for 15 fucking years, dude. She's a 5-time women's champion. She knows how to do it. This is something like that's going to increase AEW's like general outlook.
And you know what? I did saw that tonight with the women's tag match for it.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to bring that up, because the women's tag match popped off.
And it got
popped off because of that.
10 minutes. They got more than 10 minutes of action, which was great.
Dude, they went a long time. They went they went longer than I expected them to go. And
right.
Even like Sean Ross Sapp was like, these women can go like an hour. This was a hard hitting fucking tag team match.
Hard hitting.
Like it was hard hitting. It was very, very, very good. And the storytelling was great too.
It was really good.
Yeah, the storytelling was really great. It was original. Yeah, you know that thing that happens in wrestling that used to not happen.
Yeah.
And WWE actually happened the other night. Like now we got it from all angles. I'm excited. I'm so excited for this. I'm excited, dude. I'm excited for wrestling. Like I'm so excited to be part of this fucking industry.
You know what I've noticed on Raw too, that they got rid of championship contenders matches and they just add them as number one contendership matches, which is what we've been wanting for a long time now. Fun fact of the day by
That's
Adam
true.
Woods.
That's true. Fact of the day by Adam Woods. So yeah, man. So we also had your boy Powerhouse Hobbs. I know Julian is so sad. Julian is so sad about Powerhouse Hobbs breaking up with Ricky Starks.
It doesn't look like it.
But tonight, Powerhouse Hobbs destroyed.
I'm happy to see Powerhouse Hobbs go off onto his own. But I thought it was a tag team. They were just going to destroy the division.
No. Sad. And not only that, Taz says Team Taz is no longer a thing. Mm-hmm. He said, no more Hook, no more Hobbs, no more Ricky. I wish them the best of what they're going to do on their own. And he looks straight in the camera, dead in the eye, and kicked out his own son.
I think Taz may be a liar.
Maybe a liar. Hey, probably.
I think Taz might be a liar.
Swerve on Swerve.
That's what I'm saying. Taz, somebody from Red Hook, New Jersey. He's probably from Bayshore or something. You know,
hey, who knows? He could be only starting commentary for only a year, because you know how those sites are.
You're taking the word of a man who used to wear a furry singlet to the ring. I ain't believing him.
Hey, Babla, how long you been wrestling?
A furry half singlet, and no boots, and called himself the Tasmaniac. Yeah, I remember those days.
He was a Tasmanian devil. He used to spin around creating tornadoes.
Looney
Ludicrous, very ludicrous. And we ain't talking Luda. We're talking ludicrous. Hey, before we go any further, man, can I get a moment of silence?
Oh shit!
For the voice of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Ryan Scully.
Oh yeah,
man. Let me give it a moment of silence.
12D.
Man, Vin Scully, 94 years old.
Working
the
for
dude
the
has called every fucking Dodger game for my entire life.
Shane, he was calling games for the Dodgers when they was in Brooklyn.
Wow,
bro,
you know what that was?
When they were on the Sandlot, he was calling games, bro.
Man,
the Sandlot.
He's probably been calling games for the grandsons of some of the original players.
They literally said that he has been calling baseball games for 67 years. He's been the voice of the Los Angeles Dodgers for 67 years. Jesus Christ.
Crazy. That's crazy.
So, yeah, rest in peace, Vin Scully, man. True champion of the game, bro. Like, I saw that earlier today, and I shed a tear. I'm like, damn. I put on Twitter, all my childhood, like, people from my childhood dying, man. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Vin Scully.
Man,
it was gonna happen, you know.
hey, we lost Nichelle Nichols, Lieutenant Uhura, from the Star Trek Enterprise.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. That's sad.
Man, I think there's only like 3 original crew members left. Chekhov, Kirk, and who else has passed away now? Scotty's gone.
Rip Scotty.
Sulu. Oh, Sulu. Yeah, he's still alive.
Sulu. Yeah, Sulu.
Oh, my.
Man, it's been a fucking... Whew, I'm just saying, man. So, yeah, man, shout out to Vince Scully, man, the greatest of all time when it comes to this.
Man, they said they go in 3s, and I think the Grim Reaper went to Ric Flair's match. He was like...
he was like, nah. He's like, I don't want to claim this one. I'll let this one be. He was like, his career is done. I'll let this one be.
He took his career, said Ric Flair himself.
He was like, yeah, his career is done. He's like, I ain't giving this guy no fucking drip. Anyway, so that match, I mean, Powerhouse Hobbs destroyed the enhancement talent. And then
wait. Hey, when I saw the match, the guy's name was Red Jones, Red Jackson,
Ren Jones. Ren, R-I-N. I was like, rest in peace, Ren.
I was going to ask you, have you seen him before on the Indies? Have you seen him on any other matches or anyplace else?
For a minute, I thought I heard a rim job. Well, thank God that wasn't it.
Man, it was hella funny because Powerhouse Hobbs got like the full-on entrance, man. Just like full regalia, the music.
Hold on. Adam Woods, you're fucking dirty for this.
Oh, Adam Woods, you post some most effed up shit in the top.
I love when Adam is in the chat, man. I love when Adam is around, period. I love Adam.
Hey, you know what?
Adam Woods is great.
If the camera zoomed out, you probably could have thought it might have been Vince Scully taking his place.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. You guy.
Probably would have had a better match. Anyway, go ahead with your saying.
Probably would have called the match better. Yeah, so Powerhouse Hobbs gets the video package, he gets the music, he gets the slow entrance and the lights and the smoke, all that stuff. And his opponent, Red Jones. I was like, am I watching Superstars from 1987 right now?
That's pretty much what it felt like.
Yeah. And not that local talent actually jobbed, and local talent's never jobs in AEW.
He got the SD Jones treatment right now.
He's like, all right, I'll jump the Powerhouse Hobbs.
So let me tell you, this week has been a great fucking show. A great.
It really has.
Everything that happened this week was great. All the wrestling that happened this week, it was great, except for one thing. One thing. One fucking thing.
Another main event match.
Yep.
On AEW Dark, we got the fucking debut of the Destroyer of Gods, Parker Boudreaux.
Who has doesn't make any sense.
I'm going to say this.
Wait, hold on.
Ass Parker Boudreaux.
I can literally hear you spreading your cheeks right now. The tummy's rumbling. The bubble guts.
I don't need no toilet paper for. I don't need no toilet paper for this shit that I'm about to take right now. Look, here's the hottest of hot takes. Here's the hottest of hot takes. Parker Boudreaux comes to the ring with some motherfucking generic ass highspots.com motherfucking in stock fucking generic gear. Comes down with his shoulders all hyped up, his neck all hyped up, walking around like he's fucking Brock Lesnar.
He's not.
He wrestled Serpentico. Shane would have a better match with Serpentico.
Did Serpentico make the stuff fly out of his hands?
Yeah, he made the streamers. So Parker Boudreaux comes down. He's still doing the fucking Harlan shit. As a matter of fact, the fans are chanting Harlan throughout this whole fucking match. Right? He gets in the ring. He totally screws up like three spots. Serpentico hits the ropes. He throws the saddest, most over fucking worked, overthrown, over fucking exaggerated back elbow. where he jumps up in the fucking air like he's on a goddamn trampoline.
Wow.
Picks him up, holds him in the air, and drops him with this decent finisher. Right? It's like a backdrop, but he like shoves his chest down. He crosses his arms like this in an X to pin him. I'm like, do you know how to pin a person? Like, I mean, I know you haven't had any fucking matches, destroyer of gods. You haven't had any fucking matches because you're a destroyer of gods. But the whole fact that he comes out like he's fucking Brock Lesnar,
he ain't
huffing and puffing, you know, like he's so fucking over the top, like, and he has no fucking personality. I literally watched some toast in my toaster have more personality than this dude did.
Damn.
After the match is over, and Daivari is doing the talking because you know Daivari is the guy with the Daivari and this Slim J guy. They got some fucking charisma, right? Daivari is a fucking amazing wrestler. The Slim J guy, okay. The Trust Buster gimmick, I don't understand what the fuck the Trust Busters mean, but it sounds like a fucking stupid thing. Oh, they're trust fund breakers.
Buster,
whatever. This is fucking ridiculous. You got fucking the dude from Malibu's Most Wanted, fucking and then you got Ari Daivari.
Can I say one thing about this? That they have the most non-make sense theme music that I've ever heard in my life. Like this doesn't match you.
None of this shit. What? Whoever look, this was the worst fucking shit ever. Okay, after the match, he goes, "I've arrived." Like, what? I strained to hear. What did you just say? I've arrived. Like, yo, you come out here act like you're Brock Lesnar. You better get some bass in your voice, you little bitch.
Yeah, act like a dinosaur. Act like a dinosaur, damn it.
I don't know, man. Just this guy, he makes my stomach turn. He's just, I don't know.
He's a waste of your
He's like nails. He's like Kevin Kelly as nails. No fucking personality. This dude, you know they say white meat baby face? No, this motherfucker's not a white meat baby face. This dude's a motherfucking a fucking carton of milk. That's what he is. Bland as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my hot take. Those are mine and mine alone. Did not reflect those of the Roundtable Pros and Podcast, Julian Smith or Shane Husky. They are mine and mine alone. You can at me on Twitter if you want to. I give 2 fucks.
Yeah. What he said.
Sorry. I didn't get that out because Parker Woodrow, that dude's fucking horrible.
If I had an action figure, I'll be like, tell me where he hurts you. Point it.
He hurt me everywhere in my brain, my eyeballs. Like I looked at this shit and I was like, why did I really just waste my fucking time looking at this shit?
Shane gave you a lily doll and said, show us where he hurt you.
Yeah, he hurt me. He hurt me all right. I fucking looked at his dumb ass and it hurt.
Just like I told Marie Shallow, so show me the FTR action figures and the CM Punk action figure where they hurt you.
Stupid.
Oh man, it's fun.
Oh man, yeah. I just couldn't do it, bro. I couldn't do it. I had to say something about this shit because
his theme song doesn't make sense of his character. Like, what am I listening to?
You look, yeah. Yeah.
There's some better theme songs out there. Like, come on.
So another thing that happened tonight that totally was like awesome. The Undisputed Elite. The Undisputed Elite returned. Oh no, we're saving that. The Undisputed Elite returned tonight. And I called it. We're gonna get the Hung Bucks back, baby. The Hung Bucks tonight. It was kind of cool because, like, on Being the Elite, they did this whole video of Adam Cole watching them, talk about the trios tournament and all that stuff like that, and they were just like, he was like, I travel the road with these guys, and he put over Bobby Fish and he put over Kyle O'Reilly, and he's like, yeah, I travel the road with these guys, and I got colleagues with my brothers and blah blah blah, putting over the fact that they're a unit, they're a clique. Then he was like, but there's a sense of loyalty, and he looks right at the Bucks.
Loyalty.
And he was like, so I'm sorry to tell you guys this, but you guys won't be in the trios tag team tournament. Since you're not picking Kyle O'Reilly, no, since you're not picking Bobby Fish as your partner, you guys won't be in the tournament. And they were like, what? He's like, well,
doesn't Kyle have an injury as well right now?
Maybe I shouldn't have said this. You guys are not going to be healthy enough, and then they attack him. Right? I saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah, I mean, we all did. We all knew.
And then the cutest thing happened, ladies and gentlemen.
Adam Cole made his babies cry.
It was the cutest. The kid was crying, bro. I was so happy. I laughed my ass off when that kid was bawling. He was like, "No, don't beat them." I was laughing my ass off, dude. That was the best part of the day. I fucking could not stop laughing at that.
Hey, but now Adam Cole is a true heel because he made a kid cry.
Yes,
yes.
Making a kid cry is the true meaning of being a heel. I mean, Bailey did it. I mean, Sasha Banks did it to Bailey. Roman Reigns did it.
Several.
Yeah, so I mean, it is. But the best thing happened tonight was Adam Page rushes the ring with a lead pipe and the cutest pair of pants on with butterflies.
I know, right?
I was like, bro, you're running to the ring with a lead pipe. You're trying to strike fear into people. Here you are with these cute little butterflies on your pants.
Hey, man, butterflies can be deadly. You don't know.
Hey, man, like he's coming in like Mothra.
Yeah, Mothra.
Literally.
Hey, man, you don't mess with Mothra. If you see the Mothra movie, you don't mess with that.
But then the worst part of this whole thing was when they ran them off, and he goes over to Matt and he picks Matt up off the ground. And he pulls Matt up, and Matt like puts his hands back in his pockets, like, yeah, man, yeah. It was the worst acting I've ever seen.
No,
it's like, yeah, man, yeah. And everyone's like, oh my god, this is the Hung Bucks. This is the Hung Bucks, right? So I was excited for the Hung Bucks being returned because just the name Hung Bucks is awesome. The Hung Bucks. Just them three together. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be Kenny, but with the Bucks.
Oh, he's coming back. He's coming back real soon. Definitely real soon.
Yeah. We're going to talk about people coming back in a minute because I showed you guys something that AEW fucked up on again. But that's all right. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I will shit on something if no matter who it is, AEW, WWE. Yeah, they fucked up again.
Really?
So anyway, now the Hung Bucks are back together. Possibly. That right there shows greatness in a can happen on the show.
Can of great.
We're gonna wait for the last two matches because I want Shane to talk about something that he brought to our attention today.
Oh,
the AEW.
Wait. What? In about how long are we going to talk about the last match?
Oh, the last two matches?
I'm talking about the last match.
Oh, you mean the last match?
Yes.
You mean the Jericho Yuta match?
I'm gonna go get my colon blow right now.
Well,
I can get ready.
Oh, so you taking the X-Lax, right? You popping an X-Lax right now so you can shit on this whole thing?
I'm washing down that X-Lax with prune juice.
Wowzers, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
He said hot prune juice. Damn.
Ew.
That's almost as bad as hot garbage. Speaking of hot garbage, the Acclaim beat the Gun Club tonight in a dumpster match.
That was fun. That was a fun match.
Hey, Max Caster. Max Caster is my man, bro. Max Caster, look, please don't ever stop being yourself.
Does that make the Acclaim the new Age Outlaws?
Yes.
Okay. Three things happened in this match that made me laugh. One, right from the gate, they fucked up Billy Gunn.
They really did, too.
They fucked up Billy Gunn. Two, there was a part where Austin Gunn was punching Max Caster, and he did the road dog dance.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he told him to suck it. I was like, wait a second. And then the third thing that happened in this match that was totally hilarious was how they redid the New Age Outlaws versus Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack.
That's
when they put him in the trash can and shoved the trash can off the fucking stage.
I believe that was WrestleMania 14. Yeah, that was WrestleMania 14 when that happened.
Was it WrestleMania 14?
And like
that was
That was Raw. That was Monday Night Raw.
Okay,
that was Raw. That was Raw.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember thinking how stupid the name Chainsaw Charlie was.
Chainsaw Charlie.
Until I found out the meaning behind the name. It was an homage to a barber they used to have who had passed away, and they called him Chainsaw Charlie because he was like chopping people's hair off.
Ah, that makes sense.
But that stocking is a face mask.
How can he breathe in that?
Terry
like,
Funk, he cut the mouth part off, didn't he?
No, it didn't look like he did. Like it's like just the thing. Like, how are you breathing? Well, I mean, like it had little holes and everything everywhere.
It looked
So
really uncomfortable.
yeah,
Really uncomfortable.
man. No, thank you. I would never wear that.
Wow. I'm sorry. I was reading something about what Sean Ross Sapp had said today on Fightful.
Something good? Anything good?
Anything
Oh, it
good?
was about this guy who had been harassing him for a while. He finally was like, "Yo," he met up with dude in at what do you call it? And dude had nothing to say.
Yes, I do.
Dude had shit to say.
Yeah, you know what he should have
Like
said?
I love how people talk shit. Online, like you fucking keyboard warriors, you fucking e-stands and all that shit like that. But when you meet a person in real life and you're like, "Oh, I better shut the fuck up. This is my ass." I love that.
You know what he should have said? He's like, "Hey, how about I meet you over at the NXT parking lot? How about that?" He's like, "Oh no,
no one wants to go to the NXT parking lot. That shit is dangerous."
Right?
Shit. I'd rather run through Compton wearing all red.
NXT parking lot is not a good place to be.
No, it is not.
Man,
that's like
in broad daylight at night. It ain't.
Hell no.
I mean, hell, that's like being in the stadium parking lot with Jungle Boy behind the wheel.
With that Christian
right?
T-shirt.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that because I love that shit. That shirt that's probably gonna be on ProWrestling.com. Max Caster, bro, the rap he fucking said.
Oh my god.
He's gonna make the Gun Club retire like Vince McMahon. he said we're not filtered like Instagram. We're gonna make the Gun Club retire like Vince McMahon. I was like, damn.
I knew
then he was like,
we're gonna make retirement.
He said, we're gonna beat these guys' ass and make them sicker, like President Biden's positive COVID test. I was like, Jesus Christ, these motherfuckers. I'm just shout out to him, man. Look, Max Caster can't do nothing wrong.
No, he can't. He can't be canceled. He cannot be canceled.
He cannot be canceled. Don't come after Max Caster, please.
Yeah.
Is Parker related to Scarlet? Scarlet has more talent than Parker. Trust that.
Yeah.
She has more personality. That's for damn sure.
That is true.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that happened this weekend, man. Ric Flair almost dying in a match.
Really?
SummerSlam being great. Raw being good.
For what?
Darby Allin giving himself a legit tattoo on his hand while he's doing a promo.
Yes, I saw that.
I was like, why the fuck did he do that? Actually, 25 years ago today was The Undertaker versus Bret the Hitman Hart at SummerSlam, sponsored by Stridex. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's been great for wrestling, man.
I know.
Did you guys watch the AEW all was it the All Atlantic Championship match that Pac had over at Rev Pro?
I did not.
No.
Dude, go fucking watch that match. The guy he worked, legit superstar in the making, man. This guy was so great. Like, dude was so great, he should be jealous of himself. He was that fucking good. Oh, shout out to Cassie Lee, by the way. And Sean Spears expecting their first child.
Oh, nice.
Sherman been doing more than
today.
Been doing more than them years.
The AEW Fight Forever video game has been announced today.
Yes, let's talk about that. Let's talk about this game.
Oh man, there's been a lot of people complaining about the graphics, and I was yelling at everybody at Twitter saying it was never meant to be a realistic 2K game. Kenny Omega said from his mouth it was meant to be an arcade-style wrestling game from No Mercy, and from the comments it looks like those people never played No Mercy, because that's what the graphics look like, and that was his intention
Yep.
to do so. Now, Omega has always been an arcade nerd, like all of his life. He wanted a wrestling game to be fun. That was his intention. Many games that I am looking forward to play is a Dance Dance Revolution mini game in the AEW Fight Forever. I am so forward for that one. That's gonna be so fun to do.
So what you're saying is this game is set up to be like it's set to be like No Mercy, and yet people are still fucking complaining.
I know they wanted an old wrestling game that looks like a newer wrestling game. They got that. Kenny Omega granted that wish, but they're still complaining about it. Like, do you want?
What did they want?
I don't know. They don't know what they want. Honestly, they really don't. They act like they wanted this, but yet they change their mind just like that. Do you want a wrestling game that's fun or not? That's all what really matters.
But from the screenshots that I saw, the rendering of the wrestlers looked like a good mix between that cartoonish No Mercy and the stuff that we see today.
Right.
You know, the detail looked really good. You could tell it was Kenny Omega.
Yeah, you can really tell it was
a
Kenny
flat
Omega.
picture of his face on someone's like 3D head.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like very good rendering. The lighting, the detail, like on the costumes and the outfits, look
really good. Looks really good.
The only caveat here is a lot of times when these screenshots get released, it's like stills of kind of like the movie portions of the game. Yeah, and it's not a screenshot of the actual gameplay itself. That's so assuming this is a screenshot of the actual gameplay, it looks fantastic, and it's a perfect blend where it doesn't look hyper realistic and it doesn't look cartoonish. It's a good blend in between. The only thing I didn't like was Kenny Omega's teeth.
I'm sure that'll be fixed like as soon as the build is over.
But I mean, how stupid is that? You know?
Yeah. No, seriously, I've heard some stupid complaint. Oh, just because certain hair physics are in the game, I'm not going to get it. Really? You're not going to get it because of hair physics? Like,
whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the game sounds fun. Like you said, there's mini games in there.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there will be a story mode. I mean, even
speaking of the story mode,
No Mercy had a story mode, like for any championship actually.
And I got the info for the story mode. It says AEW Fight Forever's Deep Career Mode highlights the fun and personality of an all-elite wrestler's life on the road. Players can create and develop their own wrestler who joins the AEW roster and appears in the matches and stories over the event the timeline schedule. Points are earned by winning matches and fulfilling certain objectives, which can then be used to enhance their wrestler stats.
Hey, so Shane, I'm going to ask you a couple questions here with regards to gaming.
Yeah.
With wrestling games in particular. So you've played No Mercy. You played probably WCW versus NWO Revenge.
Like, the very earliest wrestling game that I played was SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. And the most overpowered moveset in that game is Brock Lesnar. Because no matter who you played, you just lose.
Yeah. So when you play these games, so you get your download, or back then you probably had to buy the disc or whatever.
Yes, back then.
So you put the game in. What is the first thing you do? Do you set up a? Okay. Do you do just a 2-on-2, like 1-on-1, like just a regular match between your favorite wrestler and another wrestler? Do you go immediately into story mode, or do you start creating your own wrestler?
Okay, so back then, when I didn't have any fantasy matches in mind, because I was just a kid, because I didn't know what fantasy matches were, I just started using the career mode with regular wrestlers. But then later on years, I started doing fantasy simulation matches. And the fun thing about AEW Fight Forever is that this year, for the first time ever, since Here Comes the Pain, there will be intergender wrestling. I have been asking intergender wrestling for a long time in wrestling video games.
But in No Mercy, you could do it in general wrestling. All you had to do was pick a female opponent.
That is true.
Or a male opponent, depending on who you played.
That is true. And also there's customization. Range of customization options includes wrestler attire, appearances, movesets, entrances, teams, and custom arena is also confirmed, just like in the 2K games.
Yeah, the custom arenas were always fun.
Yeah, no, really. Like people make some great custom arenas on 2K, and I've shared you guys on the message board because I like what people create.
Yeah, well, how much time people making custom arenas? Probably a lot.
Yes. Match types. There are tag teams, 3-ways, 4-ways, ladder, casino battle royal, Pulse Count Anywhere, unsanctioned lights out, and exploding barbed wire deathmatch.
Wow.
Hopefully it wasn't sparklers.
Oh, I hope not. You better not.
I can just see Kenny Omega like, let's fuck with these guys and let's actually put the sparklers in there instead. I can see that. The other guy that isn't Arya was impressive in the Trustbusters. Yes, he does look like Jamie Kennedy in Malibu's Most Wanted. His name is Slim J.
Slim J.
And he legit is actually pretty good. He reminds me of Jack Evans a little bit. He's really good, but you know the trio sucks because you put two good guys and one really shitty guy in there. You know, it kind of like drags down like the whole thing. So speaking of dragging down the whole thing, Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage tonight.
I do like that match.
You like that match?
Yeah.
It was sloppy as shit. Matt Hardy needs to just like fucking take a break, dude. He needs to take a break. The whole I don't get it. Like Tony Khan, listen to me very carefully. You have made a company built on the dream that you're creating new stars.
Yep.
You got Wardlow, you got Wheeler Yuta, you got Danny Garcia, who cut a hell of a nice promo tonight.
Yes, he did.
You got Powerhouse Hobbs, you got Britt Baker, you got Jamie Hayter, you got Thunder Rosa, you got all these talented individuals, Orange Cassidy, and then you put fucking Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage, a match that the last time we saw this match was WWF. Not WWE, WWF. Okay. I'm sorry. Like, people complain about WCW being built on old WWE guys. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it right now.
Oh,
AEW is not WCW. It's not Impact Wrestling. It's none of these companies. It's all Elite Wrestling. It's its own entity. It's its own brand. It's its own style.
People keep telling me that AEW
someone
is Impact
someone was like, why do they have numbers on the bottom of their videos? I'm like, oh, you mean their win-loss records? Like they're making wrestling look like a professional sport.
Yeah.
Stop dragging these fucking dinosaurs from the early 80s and 90s. I know you're living out your Mark fantasy by having all of these fucking guys. Trust me. I ran a company in Northern California, and I was so excited because this guy, Cameron Tarabi, was a very rich man and said, hey, here's a checkbook, write any amount you want and bring any fucking talent you want for a show. I was so excited that I got to bring in the Head Shrinkers. I got to bring in the Pit Bulls. I got to bring in Dan Severn. I got to bring all of these guys, Yokozuna, all of these guys that I want to be on the show. These guys, I got to bring those guys in. And I was excited about that. But the point I'm making here, Tony Khan, and even you AEW, I mean you WWE stands are gonna have some fucking smart ass comments to make about it. Because that's what you guys do. You guys throw the smart ass, shitty ass little childish comments in the comment section because you think that you guys are cool and that people want to hear your fucking hot takes. Well, no one really gives a shit about your hot takes. The point I'm making is, Tony Khan, stop bringing in these old relics and start pushing these young guys. Because when you start pushing these young guys, that's what your company is being built on. That's what your company is being based on. People are looking at the fact that you're bringing guys like Wardlow, MJF, MJF is the new age CM Punk, in my opinion. The guy is smart. The guy can wrestle. The guy has a great fucking mouth on him. The guy is great. When you bring in someone like Matt Hardy, he just drags down the fucking show. The show was on a high. You brought Matt Hardy. It went back down to the fucking low.
My, and I'm jumping the gun here. My biggest problem now is that for the AEW Championship, if you had the newest challenger versus the interim champion and the legit champion in a three-way, the winner of the AEW title will be a WWE guy.
Yeah.
Well, in case you guys weren't watching, this Friday on Rampage, there's going to be an AEW interim championship contenders match. I'm sorry, a championship eliminators match. So basically, this is what the championship eliminators match is. This champion is facing all of these challengers in non-title matches. If the challenger should beat the champion, he gets a shot at the title. That's a number one contenders match. I fucking love it. I get it. I love that.
Is that called a gauntlet match?
In a sense, kind of, yeah. But
yeah.
So it's a gauntlet
Takeshita,
it's a
the Japanese sensation,
the number one contender.
In a sense. So
okay,
they have the Japanese superstar Takeshita, who's been on a rise, facing Moxley this Friday on Rampage.
That's gonna be a good match.
They're putting these young guys in matches that are going to be fucking awesome. This young guy is also facing. He's also facing
Claudio.
He's also facing Claudio Saturday at the Battle of the Belts.
3.
So that for the Ring of Honor World Championship, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome. You're having these young guys in these matches. Like I was saying earlier, if you watch Pac versus the dude from England, dude, this young kid blew my socks off. Like, this was a match. Like, you know how Pac is from the gate. He's boom, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
No, this dude fucking took Pac to the limits, bro. Pac damn near, bro. This legitimately was one of the best matches I've seen Pac in a long time.
And I'm glad that they put Pac in a position to hold that title because you know him. He always has visa problems and everything. So I'm glad that he gave him something to do.
God. He always have visa problems. I don't want his ass in the United States.
I mean, it's true he does, but I'm glad that he gave him a title where he can actually do something for AEW for the show and the company.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It was but what I'm getting at is all these young guys are having these fucking great matches.
They really are.
I mean, you can always have the Will Ospreays versus Pac. You can always have those matches like that.
Yeah.
But AEW is giving these guys an opportunity to have like amazing fucking matches. You guys got like Aussie Open, you know, those guys that were at Rev Pro coming and working at AEW. Young guys, people that we haven't seen in the United States for AEW in a long time. You know, Kip Sabian. Kip Sabian is another one.
Kip Sabian is finally had a Kip Sabian looks like he's coming back soon, which is great.
Yeah. He had this gimmick where he's chasing Pac all around the company. So Pac has wrote Will Bruce, RK, Hillman. Okay, he's wrote all the guys. He wrote Connor Mill. This guy, he wrestled Shota Umino. He's wrestled all these young guys, dude. Robbie X is fucking amazing. But Connor Mills, this guy's gonna be a fucking star. I'm telling you right now. Connor Mills, Google that name, look him up. He's a Rev Pro real. Connor Mills, fucking off the chain. Him and Pac had one of the matches I've ever seen. Shout out to my boy at TT's podcast for bringing that up. July 23rd. They had to, my God. These young guys at AEW have an opportunity to. Okay. just some of these crazy matches are just fucking off the chain. And Tony Khan, instead of having matches like this spotlighted, he's got fucking this goofy ass fucking Edge. I mean, Christian versus Matt Hardy. What next? Is it Hogan and Mr. T versus, Paul and fucking retrospect? Shout out to Roddy Piper, even though he's gone. We got Muck as the fucking Parker fucking Parker Lesnar or P Lesnar. That's gonna be a new name.
Parker Lesnar.
Stokely Hathaway's over here.
Oh yeah, the Stokely Hathaway thing.
Stokely Hathaway came out and recruited Ethan Page to his group. But Ethan Page is another fucking guy that's young, that's been around the business for a while, but he can be an AEW guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Josh the Goods Woods. Like, these are guys that were Ring of Honor, indie guys. Dude, push them. Push these fucking guys instead of pushing Matt Hardy. Instead of pushing Chris Jericho, who could barely keep. Wheeler Yuta was running on fucking like 3 speed.
Yeah.
Like, you should have put Wheeler Yuta over in this fucking match instead of putting over Jericho.
I thought Wheeler Yuta was actually going to win tonight.
Wheeler Yuta's an AEW homegrown guy.
Yes,
I would have been happy if Wheeler would have won. Because look, we're gonna have Jericho versus Jon Moxley for the interim AEW World Championship match next week. So basically, what we're gonna have is an old WWE match where Moxley sells for Jericho, who can barely fucking keep going. We're gonna have Aubrey Edwards in there because Aubrey has to be in every fucking Jericho match. She's gonna be fucking overperforming, trying to outshine the fucking workers because that's what she does. So I don't know.
Then
man.
we have
Tony Khan books a great show, but that was shit. Say it again.
Then we had a referee like that in VCW that overshined everybody.
No, because that referee listened to what he was told.
Okay.
I know which one you're talking about. Are you talking about the one that used to stomp his foot or the other one?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. So let's look at SmackDown. Have a
kind of breaking it out.
Claudio Castagnoli will face Kinoshita Takeshita.
That's gonna be a fire match.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
A little bit.
For the ROH World.
Oh, you break it up now.
Yeah, you're really breaking it up.
For the TNT Championship.
You might need to restart your new computer, man.
Yeah. You break it up.
No, it's a website that goes crazy. It slows down everything because it takes forever. Okay, am I back now?
Yeah, you're back. You're completely back.
Am I back? Okay.
Yeah.
Then we have Wardlow defending the TNT Championship against Jay Lethal.
That's gonna be fun.
I'm not really interested in that too much.
Hopefully Jay Lethal will win.
I mean, it'd be okay, but I'm not really interested in that. Then we're gonna have Jamie Hayter finally getting her shot at the AEW Women's World Championship when she takes on Thunder Rosa. That is gonna be a hard-hitting match. And it's about fucking time Jamie Hayter gets a push.
I hope Jamie Hayter wins.
I mean, even though we know she's probably not going to, it's AEW. You never know.
You never know. Anything can happen.
I mean, last week we thought Bryan Danielson was gonna beat fucking Daniel Garcia, and look what happened there.
Yeah, me and my friends have this discussion every time when AEW on. They say, "Oh, it's predictable," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll make you a bet." And every time when they say that on any Wednesday, I win the bet almost all the time. I'm like, "What? Win him about being unpredictable?"
You want to know what's predictable about AEW? You want to know the most predictable thing about AEW?
Every MJF feud that
they're gonna have a fucking banger show. That's what's predictable. Every week they have a banger show. It may not be 100% banger, but 1, 2, 3, 4 matches on the fucking 6-match card, banger. Unless you put Matt Hardy versus anybody. So yeah, that totally fucking sucks too. Yes, I'm shooting hard on Matt Hardy because Matt Hardy doesn't need to be there. Jericho shouldn't have went over on Utah tonight. I'm glad Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter went over on Thunderstorm. That was awesome.
Yeah.
The Acclaim went over on the Gun Club. The
The
Acclaim is the most popular tag team in AEW right now. It's awesome. They consider me daddy.
Champions. Come on, let's do it.
Christian with the shirt. Christian almost getting ran over by Jungle Boy earlier, who was trying to be Jungle Man.
Wait.
Powerhouse Hobbs destroyed the enhancement talent guy.
Jungle Man.
Jungle Man. He was her name. Jungle Man, homie. Jungle Man. So most of this is it was a great show. If I had to give it a rating from 1 to 5, I would give it a solid 4.5.
Yeah.
I gotta take 0.5 off because of Matt Hardy. And I'm not shooting on Matt Hardy as a person. I'm just saying, like,
you shoot on Matt Hardy, like the character?
At some point, you gotta start pushing the young guys and stop worrying about these fucking old guys. Like, that's just me, man.
No, those guys don't suck. They just need to learn that they don't need to be on TV enough.
Yeah.
So put up Adam Wood's comment about with JBL.
Adam Decay Woods. Follow him on Twitter. Seen the work for guys like JBL, Big Show, Edge, and help get them over. There's no one to nurture young talent. AEW's younger talent can learn and work. Okay, so I disagree with that. I disagree with that somewhat. I'm going to say this is why I disagree with that. CM Punk, an older talent, worked with MJF and made MJF a bigger star than MJF was before.
Yeah.
So he nurtured CM Punk. CM Punk nurtured MJF and brought him up. The Bucks, they worked with Private Party they brought Private Party from House of Glory, brought those guys into AEW, put them over in the World Tag Team Title Tournament, clean as a sheet.
They did.
So they nurtured those guys. They put those guys in the spot where they can succeed. So those are two things right there. Then you got Pac. Pac's not an old guy, but Pac's a young guy. Working with Pac worked that feud with what's his name?
I like that comment from that Nation Kick fan right here. There are so many younger talents. Could be great if they worked with the older guys.
Okay, so I agree with that. Yeah, I agree. I totally 1,000% agree with that. You got guys that are actually out there. Like, okay, so this whole thing with the Blackpool Combat Club. Me and Julian talked about this when they started talking about this. They brought the whole thing up about Danielson and fucking Mox teaming up to work with these young guys, bringing in William Regal. I thought that shit was amazing.
Yeah,
look what they did for Wheeler Yuta.
They made it look like
Yuta was a fucking jobber.
Wow.
Okay, so here's the thing.
AEW he was.
So look at the BCC, not the BBC, the BCC.
Sorry, Renee Paquette.
You had Regal put together Moxley and Daniel Bryan. But I mean, I think it's because those two were like going head to head, and he was like, "Hey, stop fighting, join teams." But they could have brought in more than just Wheeler Yuta. I mean, I get it that you're surrounding one specific talent with veteran talent, but you can do more than one younger talent at a time.
I feel like Daniel Garcia.
So thin.
Yeah.
And then, like, granted, you have guys like Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs who are going to make their own way. They're going to be good. They're going to be great on their own.
Yes, definitely.
And so in WWE, I mean, they're just at the top level. There's a void of vets who are really participating in ring that can really elevate younger talent. So, and right now your vet is Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Right now your vet is Taker's gone. Kane pops every now and then. Seth Rollins is a vet. Roman Reigns is a vet right now. Those are your organization because they're like the ones who have been around there the longest.
The Usos, same thing.
Usos are a vet too.
Usos been around for a minute. I mean, Usos
Same with the New Day. New Day are vets.
And so in AEW, where the roster is so bloated, there's no excuse to not have several younger talent working with older talent. Like, even if you want to do the Undisputed Elite, put a newer talent in there so they can groom him, someone that they identify as being elite also. Have one of the Young Bucks bring up someone as like, a new character. Or just a new talent. And granted, they did when AEW first started, they were wholeheartedly dedicated to creating their own stars and leveling up new talent. They did a great job of it. That's why you have your Jungle Boy. That's why you have Luchasaurus with him. That's where you have
Christian, another vet working with a young guy to put him over.
Yeah,
correct. And that's where you had Hangman come up and Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is technically a vet who was trying to raise up younger talent. But now they brought in so many pre-established stars that they spent a lot more time putting titles on for the sake of profile. It kind of got lost in the shuffle. And so they just need to go back to what their original formula was. And quite honestly, back when it was Cody Rhodes and the Bucks and the original cast and crew of AEW, who that is the reason they made AEW, that's when it was happening. And now that it's Tony Khan, I don't blame him. He runs a business there to make money. He's putting people on TV who are going to get the better ratings and get the biggest draws so that they can get the TV contracts and stay on TV and get the ratings they need to do.
Yes.
That's not a bad thing. I'm not saying shame on Tony Khan for doing that. That's business. And whenever
in that same comment,
do business, recognize that it's business. They're not shitting on anybody. They're not keeping anybody down. Sometimes they just have to do business.
So I'm going to answer this question because me and Adam Woods we've gone back and forth over this thing. The Bucks are over. Yes, the Bucks are over. They utilize YouTube vlogging for wrestling. Paired with Cody, got merch and Hot Topic, and paired with Tony, start AEW. Kudos to them for that. But what territory were they over? Ring of Honor, New Japan, all over California, all over Southern California, House of Glory in New York. They were over. So you pick. The Bucks were over. Yeah. You may not like them personally, but the Bucks were over. PWG, the Bucks were over. House of Glory, the Bucks were over. Ring of Honor, the Bucks were over. New Japan Pro Wrestling, the Bucks were over. Call it what it is, man. Call it what it is. I'm just saying. Call it what it is.
Not only
and
that,
this one right here, Mox, Brian, and Cesaro are Blackpool Combat Club. Yuta doesn't fit. Let me tell you something about Wheeler Yuta. The style that the Blackpool Combat Club are putting on, Wheeler Yuta is perfect for that. So is Daniel Garcia. Believe it or not, the young talent, and I shit on Jericho, but I'm gonna rein back a little bit on this because you got Jack Swagger, who finally, Jake Hager, who finally had some singles matches, some real singles matches, but working with Jericho, got his name out there again. 2.0. Those two fucking idiots.
Focus goal.
They had during that last that Blackpool Combat Club versus the Jericho Appreciation Society match. Those two guys showed up and showed out. Bloody is all fucking get out. They showed up.
Okay, you just made a perfect point. You put Jericho in the Jericho Appreciation Society with these four other guys who, me as a fan, didn't know who the fuck they were. Mm-hmm. Guess what? I still don't know who the fuck they are. I cannot tell you their names. And it's not me shitting on them, but it's this idea of, hey, we're going to put these four younger talent with Chris Jericho, and he's going to elevate them. No, he's not. He's there for himself.
Exactly. That was the part where I shit on Jericho about. That's what I said. People like Jericho, they did the same thing with fucking Private Party and with Matt Hardy. Same thing. Yeah. They put them together. Oh, they're going to elevate them with being with Matt Hardy. And it became a fucking clown. It became a joke. Private Party is a fucking amazing tag team.
I mean, elevating talent is when at some point you step off the mic and you let them use the mic, or better yet, they turn heel on you and stomp the shit out of you, and they stay in the main event, or at least hold some mid-card titles or tag titles or something. But not your boy Chris Jericho. Might be.
I'm just not about the whole Jericho life. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's certain people in this industry that need to fucking, shut their mouth, and Jericho's one of them.
Yeah.
Somebody sending Adam the link.
Oh, for
tonight?
Yeah, right now.
Did you do it? Did you have a link?
Did you send to him?
Right now.
I gotta do it? Okay.
I got him.
Oh.
Scott Hall.
Oh, wow.
Hey, yo. Scott Hall's in the chat.
Hey, yo.
Hell yeah.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
I love when we get bots.
Oh, man.
But yeah, man. I see these young talents, not getting put over like they should, and that's one of the things that bothers me about Tony Khan and AEW saying that they're here to build these young talents, when in reality, some of these young talents are still getting hung out to dry. You see what I'm saying? So that's my problem. That's where I'm not cool with that. It's like I tell people all the time, I will shit on a product if I feel that the fans are being mistreated. And I feel like the fans are being mistreated when it comes to the young talent that has been brought into professional wrestling.
That's the whole point of HC Kickstand. He doesn't have to prove anything else. He's done everything that all he's done. Like, literally done everything.
And that's the thing. Like he's let's just call it what it is. And that's the part that really ruins it for me. I mean, that really ruins it for me, because you got these young guys. I mean, like me, I'm a vet. I've been wrestling 30 years. I stepped back and took a seat, so to speak, so I can help elevate other guys in the industry. Now, here's another thing too that might spark a little controversy. It might spark a little drama. It might spark a little heat, so to speak.
That Julian,
what do these young guys fucking do when you give these young guys a spot? When you give these young guys a spot, do they fucking accept it? Do they run with it? Like, do they actually take the reins and go, or do they just sit back and they fucking pander? Like I had a tag team partner that I literally was getting bookings for.
I think I say that Julian has to accept the fact that there's no 3MB reunion.
Wow. Suck it up, man. Hey, even Madcap Moss got his shot, so
yeah, exactly. And I was all about that.
And then I sent you the link, man. When you at?
Yeah, Adam's he's there. So ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break, and then we're gonna bring Adam Blitz in, and we're gonna go ahead and shoot the shit.
Adam the Game.
We'll be right back.
Professional wrestling is one of the toughest sports going today. If you ever dreamed of being a professional wrestler, then former WWE superstar and World Tag Team Champion Sir Mo of the famed tag team Men on a Mission invites you, yes, you, to join his Bumps and Bruises Academy. Now in 2 locations in Carrollton, Texas and Sherwood, Arkansas. Allow Sir Mo and his head coach, Dante Smiley, and other coaches to get you on the road to an exciting and rewarding career. Classes forming now for your shot. Contact Sir Mo at 704-819-7312 or fill out an information questionnaire now. Don't wait, make your dreams come true today by joining the Bumps and Bruises Pro Wrestling Academy.
Hi, this is James Beard with SWE Fury, and you're watching the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast.
And look who has joined us, the one and only Adam Woods.
What's good, party people? So, no, with all due respect, and I love you guys, right? So, for me, one of WWE's problems, especially after Cena and even during Cena, how many times have you heard guys like Alex Riley saying like, "Hey, if you didn't get in with Cena, no matter how talented you weren't getting over," right? But even Cody learned from Bob Holly. You know, he learned from Randy Orton, right? So these are, you know, like AEW has a wealth of talent, right? Both on camera and off, for these younger guys to learn from. Now, is it going to work? Right. The whole Jericho Appreciation Society, it's nepotism at its very worst, right? We can all kind of agree there, right? Who knows who those, you know, like I actually like the I guess they were 2.0 in NXT. Like I thought there was really something there. And when they, you know, when they left and got released, I was like, actually, this might be a good thing, you know. And then AEW, like I wasn't surprised, picked them up, you know, and it wasn't about, you know, being ex-WWE contracted talent, you know. And that's one thing that I don't understand about some people, right? Just because you're not a WWE contracted talent anymore, right, doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have a lot to give to the business still, just because you're not in the WWE anymore, right? Think of guys like Matt Cardona and obviously these 2.0 guys before they hooked up with Jericho. Jericho thinks he can walk on water, you know, and everything that he, you know, he thinks he's King Midas, right? Everything he touches turns to gold. But I mean, maybe the first half, the bubbly and all that shit was great, but fuck, man, like it's a mixed bag, right? Has MJF, you know, benefited from CM Punk? Absolutely. Have the 2.0 guys benefited or you know, from being with Jericho? Probably not. Who else? Oh, Private Party. I don't care if you put Matt Hardy with them or fucking CM Punk with them. To me, those guys are a dime a dozen. When you got guys like the Acclaimed and what is it? Who's the guys? The Montez Ford and Dawkins.
Street Profits.
Yeah. So those guys are dime a dozen, you know, and we're AEW is a universe, especially where, unfortunately, if you went in going like, I'm an awesome wrestler and I can do cool moves, well, guess what? That's dime a dozen. That's like a actress here in Hollywood. It's a dime a dozen, right? So you can't just be a good wrestler and expect to get over, right? Drawing money. Now, my comment about the Bucks, right? The Bucks, they utilize the resources that they had in play, right? There was YouTube vlogging, but there wasn't YouTube vlogging for wrestling. They capitalized on it. They were able to get into Hot Topic, right? They paired with Cody, you know, and joined the Bucks. But ask anybody in New Japan. Were they over in New Japan? No. And you're like, oh, Ring of Honor. Agreed. Ring of Honor wasn't doing, you know, wasn't lighting the world on fire. They were time in TNA or Impact. You know, they haven't drawn money as a tag team, like real money. We're talking about
wait.
like Tully and Arn.
Before you
Tully and
go
Arn,
further,
that money, like being a wrestler.
Wasn't the Bucks and Cody the reason why they sold out Madison fucking Square Garden? Wasn't they the reason? Weren't they the hold on? Weren't the Bucks and Cody the guys that bankrolled the very first AEW All Out, which sold out an arena in less than 1 hour? So they're making money. Their shirts bankrupt. Their shirts slowly shut down. High spots. I mean, pro wrestling tees. They're selling more shirts in Hot Topic than most of the WWE guys are selling on WWEshop.com. So they're making bank.
Okay, making bank versus drawing money in a territory are two different things.
It's true.
As you know, right? Like people who are paying to see you wrestle, right? If that's drawing money, and it's the same thing with UFC. You can sell a shit ton of T-shirts, right? Yeah. You know, like you can sell a shit ton of T-shirts, but actually having people come and pay to watch you work your craft, that's completely different. The Young Bucks, yes, were they able to monetize everything, all of the metrics at play that was given to them, right? Nobody to the scale that the Bucks were utilizing we're utilizing YouTube and vlogging like they did in wrestling. Now you have a multitude of other people doing it, right?
True.
But
yeah,
but they were able to do that, right? Now you mentioned about the MSG show, right? Did the Bucks, again, context is key. Did the Bucks, sell that out, or was it a culture of wrestling fan that had been so despondent at what the WWE was pushing out, and also absolutely heartbroken that whatever strides that TNA was trying to make against the WWE was thwarted many moons ago, that they were clamoring for something else, anything else, right?
I gotta agree with Wood. It was just really majority of the
I can agree with that.
Yeah,
I can 120% agree with that. But I don't agree with the fact that you're saying that the Bucks aren't making money. The Bucks aren't printing money for AEW. When in fact,
I've been saying
people were clamoring for dream matches like the Bucks versus FTR. People were clamoring for that match. The Bucks and FTR wrestling made that match. That's what sold that match. The Bucks versus go ahead.
Well, going back to your original statement, right, about the Bucks nurturing and mentoring Private Party. What can the Bucks nurture them about? Oh, when I worked this territory, this got over? Or was it, high spot? Right? The mechanics of actually having a match and not fucking killing yourself. Right? What is it? The black-haired Buck, right? I can't tell them apart, unfortunately. I'm still calling him Generation Me. And that's no disrespect to them, right? But like that's the first way that I've seen him. Just like Eric Bischoff calls William Regal Steven Regal, because that's the first time he met him. Yep. That's how they referred to him, right? So the first time I saw the Bucks was in Impact, and they were Generation Me, right? So with that all being said, in terms of formulating a match, right? And Fred, Bad Blood, as you know, right? There's an art to it. What can the Bucks give to Private Party other than high spot? Are there
that's all the Bucks that were high spots? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm an old guy. I'm an old guy, 48 years old, been wrestling 30 years in this business. I'm an old fucking guy. I get what you're saying about the mechanics of a match. I can do all those flips, but at the end of the day, it's me punching you in the fucking face that's gonna end the match. I talk about all the young guys these days doing spot. I'm old. I'm not gonna remember 100 fucking spots. No. Trust me. If you can't walk and talk in the ring, you're gonna get your shit smashed. And wrestling in Japan, quite honestly, people don't really realize the difference in the culture. Wrestling in Japan, it's really a walk and talk. Because you think all those guys are gonna remember 1,000 fucking spots? No. They're gonna hit you as hard as they fucking can, and that's the way it goes. Do you think Lance Archer's gonna remember 100 fucking spots? Do you think Dr. Steve Williams and Terry Bam Bam Gordy remembered 100 fucking spots? Do you really believe that Terry Funk can remember 100 fucking spots? No.
Right.
So with the Bucks, I get what you're saying about the flip, pow, spot. But there's also an art to that spot shit too. because I worked with guys. Classic example. I was wrestling in Ohio for Rockstar Pro. I worked the match, and it was with Sin Cara right after his WWE release. Sin Cara came up with 12 spots for the match.
Oh shit!
And as soon as the match started, he blew 6 of his own fucking spots. I was pissed. I just punched him as hard as I could. And the promoter was like, dude, you almost knocked him out. I said, it wouldn't have mattered because he didn't remember his own fucking spots. Me knocking him out wouldn't have did shit.
Yeah.
So there are guys that can walk and talk that know spots. The Bucks have grown to the fact to where they know they missed a spot. Don't go back to it. I watched them.
Right.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Oh shit, we missed G. A, B, C, D, E, F. Let's start over again. I watched them do that. So Private Party was that way. If you watch Private Party when they first came into AEW, and now they're more of they know how to walk and talk a lot more.
Yeah.
And in this industry, that's like Randy Orton.
Okay.
Randy Orton's a walk and talk guy.
So let me say a couple things about the Bucks. Number one, the Bucks never were my favorite tag team, and I do feel that a lot of their hype came from being indie darlings. Same thing with Adam Cole, and that's how Adam Cole got into NXT. However, the Bucks have held the tag team championships in 17 different promotions. Not all of them are top tier, not all of them are on TV, but still, they held it in 17 different promotions. Now, did some of these promotions get them the belt because they held the tag team titles in other higher platform promotions? Probably. But you can't fool 17 different promotions if you're that untalented. And I mean, and people are going to put the belts on you like that if they know that people are going to come see you. So whether they were internet darlings or they were on TV like they are now, they still had a following. So, I mean, I got to give them their due. And it's, again, they're not my favorites, but I'll give their due. I mean, they're doing their thing. They had enough money to help AEW to start it up. And, you know, while they book themselves at a high profile level, you know, I mean, it's business. Their business be money. Their business be business. Now, so, but by the simple fact that they've held so many tag team championships in various promotions, I think that does show that they do put asses in seats and that they do have a strong enough following because these promotions saw fit to put them high profile in their 50 people audience or 5,000 people audience. But still, they knew that those guys holding the belts would be a draw, and that's why it happened. As big as Braun Strowman was, I thought he was, is, or even Ryback, how many people are putting titles on them and making them the marquee, the big name on the marquee? I mean, they can't even get narrate your
narrative.
Create your narrative. I mean, they can't even get, you know, they're not packing the house nationwide on that. Now they can pack them in the house in a certain territory probably.
Yeah.
But not nationwide. They might not get a TV deal, but they might be on YouTube or they'll be on Twitch. But I mean, this is a different time today when people are becoming TikTok stars. So that's not really saying a whole lot. I mean, you have to be filling arenas. And when it comes time to fill an arena and you're put on the marquee, you're being put on the marquee for a reason.
Look at that. The Bucks are spot monkeys, but fans follow them and hang on every word they say. When they change their Twitter bio, people talk about that because that's news. They print money because people know their name and value. That's true.
Okay. All right. So
we're old school, Adam. I get what you're saying. Like FTR, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Magnum TA, Nikita Koloff. Those are guys that made, even Ric Flair, they made money in territories. But that was when territories were around. There's no longer any territories. It's all about social media interaction. And that's why these guys are printing money. Well, they can be spot monkeys all they want.
if I'm Private Party and I'm asking the Bucks for advice, it would be along the lines of, how can I get my t-shirts into Hot Topic? How can I vlog? How can I, like, it's not how to, again, you've got Tully and Arn, the literal brain busters. If I've got, like, let's take it back, Shane. You remember the WWE video games with the GM mode where you could actually talk to the, to the people backstage, right?
Yes, I remember that.
So again, if the player one is Private Party, and you've got over here, you've got the Young Bucks, and you've got Tully and Arn, and FTR. And out of those two, old school, new school, and you go over to the Bucks, the fuck is wrong with you? You're not going to draw money fucking anywhere. And it's a mentality. With Wheeler Yuta, unfortunately, he's not to say that he's not a great wrestler, right? But the fuck before Blackpool Combat Club, he couldn't even fucking pick his gear right. No knee pads, like Tron fucking reject pants, no knee pads. He looked nondescript. He looked worse than a fucking template for a creative character in any WWE video game.
But he can work. But he
right?
can work.
But again, worker is that worker versus drawing money, right? When is Wheeler Yuta going to be a headline?
Okay,
like a headline attraction.
I have the answer to that. So
wait, before you answer, Julian, Private Party are young and hungry. They know how the industry works now. It's 2022, not 1994. That makes a lot of sense. 1994, it was all about your work rate. Now it's about social media clicks and how many people will buy your shirts and having decent matches. Go ahead, Julian.
So here's the thing. So let me go back to Adam's question. Bryan Danielson.
No, we lost Adam.
Oh.
We'll answer the question anyway.
Bryan Danielson was an internet darling who nobody knew who the fuck he was.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a great worker. And the internet loved him. When he came into WWE, at the time, pretty much the highest platform you can get to, and they were lukewarm on him. And he got fired once, and then they brought him back. But given enough time, the dude got himself over. So to answer the question, what is the difference between being a great worker and putting asses in seats? I hate to say it, but you got to grab the brass ring, pal. I mean, you got to put yourself over. You have to connect with the audience, find some way to connect with the audience, whether it's a gimmick or you being yourself, and you will go from being a great worker or a good hand to being a superstar. Yep. Look at Stone Cold Steve Austin. Everyone always acknowledged he was a great hand. Oh, he's a great hand. He's a good hand. He's a great mechanic. That's why they called him the ringmaster, because he was a good mechanic. But then the dude got himself over. He found a way to get himself over. Look at Triple H, terrorizing. He was a body guy. His moveset limited. Still, I mean, even back when he became the game, but he found a way to get over. He connected with the audience, and he was a good worker. Look at Shelton Benjamin, fantastic worker,
very fantastic.
And there were brief periods where he connected with the audience, but just couldn't quite hold on to it. But his work is so good, he stays in the upper echelon of what people consider to be, a must-see main event match or a must-see match. And so,
okay,
Adam,
I get what you're saying about that. I agree 100% what you're saying about that.
Adam Cole was a big indie darling.
Mm-hmm.
But once he got the platform, he took it and said, boom, Adam Cole, baby, to get in front of a much larger audience. And now he is where he is. Go ahead.
So I agree with you 1,000% what you're saying, because it's the platform. There's a guy that wrestles in the Pacific Northwest. His name is Eric Wright. Eric Wright worked for BCW for a long time. He worked for WCWC. He worked for DOA. I believe he even worked for NWWA. Right? This guy is such a great wrestler.
He is very good.
Great. I mean, like I've had some great matches with a lot of people over the course of 30 years, but Eric Wright,
I've seen them myself. They were really good.
Eric Wright is a fucking great fucking worker. Eric Wright, like, he's a great worker, but he wasn't putting asses in seats because he didn't have a gimmick. He was just a guy who wore trunks, who had a funny mustache. You know what I'm saying? He was a straight-laced wrestler. And then he started teaming up. He teamed up with these two other guys. One guy's a complete piece of shit, and one guy is a really good worker.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were known as
the Cool Heels.
I love that.
So the gimmick got over because Eric Wright wore a baseball hat and he wore jeans, and he wore a T-shirt, a black T-shirt with the white words that said Cool Heels. Right.
Me and my friend, we would always go to the BCW show just to cheer for the Cool Heels because their gimmick was over as fuck.
And then he'd have a tag team partner whose name was Richard Sincere, and Richard Sincere had an old school, like, brawler type gimmick.
It reminded me of FTR mixed with another old school tag.
Remember the Vault Villains?
Yes, Vault Villains. That's what they reminded me of.
Eric Wright was the Stone Cold Steve Austin of that part of the team, and Richard Sincere was the tough as nails old school grappler. So that was their gimmick. They got that gimmick. Those two guys got over with that gimmick. You know what I'm saying? They were selling T-shirts. They were having great matches. They were getting over with their gimmick.
Cool.
So now people were like coming to see them. People coming to watch their matches. People coming to watch them in tag team matches. You know, come to watch them in singles matches because now they had a gimmick that was getting people's attention. So now they're like, oh, they're the Cool Heels.
They had their own
gimmick.
fan section.
They had a fan section.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Shane's right. They had a fan section. They had their own little ring rats. You know what I'm saying? So the point I'm making is their gimmick got them over when their wrestling style and the gimmick worked together.
And then one time,
FTR is a great tag team.
Yeah.
Their gimmick, they're just two dudes, trunks, no shirts, boots, plain ass old generic wrestler number one, generic wrestler number two. They went to NXT and started developing that no flips, just fist. So now they became brawlers. They became the modern age Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard. But their gimmick was that they were old school wrestlers who hated these new school acrobats.
Oh man,
that was their gimmick. So people were like, "Oh, they don't like fucking guys that flip around. They like to punch, kick, and slam people." So now you put them against Gargano and Ciampa. Classic match. Four guys who can wrestle. Four guys that can wrestle, but two different sets of gimmicks.
Yeah.
The gimmicks is what got them over. Johnny Gargano, great wrestler, one of the very best wrestlers in the fucking world.
He made his whole faction called the Way, and that was
you know what got him over? The fact that he was calling himself Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Takeover. He had the best matches, but his gimmick was that he had the best matches. Kenny Omega, one of the best wrestlers in the world.
And
I think the name Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's not even his fucking name. But do you think that's what got him over? The best bout machine, having 1 hour matches. That's what got Kenny over.
Yes.
Gimmick, the Cleaner, the Bullet Club, things like that. Him wrestling a fucking broom.
Yes.
That's what got Kenny Omega over. Him wrestling a little kid. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. You know what got him over? The fact that he's to cut people's hair. Greg the Hammer Valentine. Wearing the fucking Ric Flair robes and shit.
You on a roll, but
no, I'm just saying, Parker Boudreaux, the destroyer of gods. Not even God can get that guy over. I'm just saying.
Oh my God. Well, I agree with that.
Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Look, Adam said this. Bray Wyatt getting over despite not being Vince's handpicked guy is an example of how well old school can get over in this new school environment. Okay.
Bray Wyatt is very old
Now, he says Bray Wyatt is old school, right? What about this hocus pocus? What about this? Well, here. All this fucking
be old school and all this horror gimmick, man.
All this horror shit, all this scary shit. Guess what? That was his gimmick.
Yes.
That was his gimmick. Because if it was him being old school, if it was just him being old school, why the fuck didn't Husky Harris get over?
Because Husky Harris needed a vessel and Bray Wyatt and the Fiend was there.
No. What Adam is saying is, in that comment is that Bray Wyatt got over despite not being Vince's handpicked guy. Because Bray Wyatt was an old school guy. He was just a wrestler that just came in and wrestled. But what Adam is not understanding is, true in fact, yeah, Bray Wyatt did come in and wrestle. But Bray Wyatt came in as a fucking preacher, as a guy who was all about like Satanism and all kind of weird shit. You know, the mysticism. That was his gimmick. That he was a dude from the fucking swamps that was better than Skinner. That was his gimmick. You see what I'm saying? That was his gimmick that got him over. Because if you want to go old school, you want to talk about being an old school wrestler. Husky Harris was an old school wrestler. He just wore boots and tights.
Now hold on. You know, let's talk about this.
It's the same fucking guy.
Could Fandango have done Bray Wyatt?
No.
Oh my god. No. That was weird to see.
Could what was the guy's name? Mike Jindrak.
Mark
Could Jindrak have been Kane?
Actually, yes.
Could Adam Bomb have been Brock Lesnar's gimmick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If promoted right, yes, he could have.
So that's the thing. So why couldn't Fandango have been Bray Wyatt? Besides the fact that he didn't create it and feel it inside of himself, which is the most important aspect of that character, by the way.
Yes.
If someone had come up with the Bray Wyatt gimmick and been like, "Hey, Fandango, we're going to have you be this swamp guy from Cape Fear and the occult leader, and we're going to pair you
with Spivey. Waylon Mercy." That was Dan Spivey, Waylon Mercy.
See, now I'm just imagining a whole Fandango swamp character, Bray Wyatt. Now, and it's just.
Oh wait. Ooh, wait, hold on. I'm gonna shut this one down real quick.
Ooh.
If Kenny was as good as he thinks he is, he wouldn't be one bump away from his career. Randy Orton started before Kenny and has lasted longer. You know why Randy Orton has lasted longer? Because Randy Orton is a fucking gimmick.
Yeah.
Randy Orton wrestles a WWE style that is slow and methodical. If Randy Orton wasn't the Viper, if Randy Orton wasn't a third generation star like they promoted him to be, Randy Orton would be just regular ass dude in fucking wrestling trunks.
Barry-O.
He would be fucking Barry-O. Let's shoot straight. Let's shoot straight with it real quick. If it wasn't the WWE promotion that built a character, because Randy Orton is not an old school wrestler. Randy Orton is a fucking character. If Randy Orton was an old school character, he'd be Barry-O. He'd be Cowboy. Even Barry Horowitz, who was an old school wrestler, became a gimmick. See, this is what we're talking about. Kenny Omega is as good as he thinks he is, because Kenny goes up there and he works the work rate. His work rate is good. That's the thing. Kenny Omega is a wrestler. Randy Orton is a superstar. He's a character. It's like Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan wasn't a fucking wrestler. Put Hogan in a match with a real wrestler would eat Hogan's ass up. That's why Hogan didn't want to wrestle Bret Hart, because Bret Hart was a real wrestler. Bret would have tied his ass up in knots and shoot him up and spit him out. Just saying.
I hear what you're saying, and I get it. But given the environment that Randy Orton, where he started, he hasn't known anything. He hasn't known anything else.
No, he
started in one promotion, one
singular promotion,
one single promotion, one environment, and I mean he was in UPW, not UPW. He was in Ohio Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was in Ohio Valley. He made his way up to the ranks. He had a look. That was, I think, a big thing for him is he had a look. Number 2, he was the blue chipper.
But his look is generic. His look was generic. He was a dude in trunks and boots.
Nah, dude, but back in the day when he had hair, he kind of had that boy bandish, bad guy, kind of slick, whatever look. So he
random generic wrestler number fucking 3.
And he had something.
Dolph Ziggler. Look, he had the Dolph Ziggler look. Good look. Good wrestling frame. Randy Orton was a lanky fucking dude. He wasn't all super jacked up like fucking Batista. He was a random generic wrestler number fucking 3. The only difference is he had a pedigree. He was born and bred in the WWE lineage of wrestling. He had no independent wrestling, nothing. So if Randy Orton were to go to Japan and wrestle someone in Japan, he would get fucking eaten up because he doesn't know the style. All he knows is the WWE style.
Okay.
Kenny Omega has wrestled in Japan, Germany, China, fucking all these fucking places. So he knows of a litany of different styles. It's like being a fucking. It's like let me put it in Adam Woods' wheelhouse. It's like being an MMA fighter. If all you knew was grappling, and you got into it with a fucking striker, but you couldn't figure out how to stop your striker, guess what? The striker's gonna knock you the fuck out.
Yeah, you done.
If a striker only knew striking and didn't know grappling and got into it with a grappler and a grappler tied them up in knots, then can you truly say, well, that striker was the best thing going because that striker, blah, blah, blah. Well, that striker, all he knows is punch kick. He doesn't know if this guy puts him in a fucking Fujiwara armbar, he ain't gonna know what the fuck to do. You see what I'm saying? So when you put someone in one specific branding, like it's like Julian, you're a chemical, you're a chemist, right? You work in one specific field. Okay. If I told you, Julian, I want you to make a fucking rocket ship to blast off to Mars, you look at me like, motherfucker, that ain't my job. I don't know how to do that shit.
Man.
Let me go look at YouTube real quick and maybe learn some shit. Like, you wouldn't be like, yeah, I got you. I'll be right back. Like, so I can say Julian is the best at what he does. You're the best at what you do. You can't be the best of everything.
But do you believe that if Randy Orton had started in Japan, he would have gotten over? Like to where he is now?
Yeah. Yes. I think Randy Orton would have got over.
So that's my point.
But then again, Terry Gordy and Dr. Death Steve Williams got over in Japan, but they didn't really get over in the United States. Dr. Death came to work at WWE and got knocked out by fucking Bart Gunn.
Yeah, I remember that.
See what I'm saying?
But the funny thing is, I know who Dr. Death Steve Williams is. I remember enjoying his matches, but none of them were in WWE. I mean, it was all when he was like doing like WCW stuff and doing stuff from Japan. Yep. And I think that, we're looking at WWE and WCW back in the day, and now AEW as the highest level platform to get your exposure. And with that high platform, there's a much wider audience for you to appeal to and for you to get over. However, I just feel that there are some people who are great workers who just don't.
Oh man,
who just haven't found out how to connect. Or look at Damian Sandow. That dude connected with the audience. Look at Bo Dallas. That dude got over to a degree.
Okay, stop right there. Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas. White dude, black hair, white trunks, white boots. Classic generic wrestler number 3.
Yeah.
You know what got him over though? The fact that he was good on the mic. And he made a character. He made a gimmick. That's what I'm saying. He made a gimmick. If he took that gimmick and went to Mexico, he would get over. If he took that gimmick and he went to Japan, he would get over. If he took that gimmick right now and went to AEW, he would get over.
He did the Naruto gimmick. Believe
right?
it.
He would get over right there. Now, Adam said, your argument against Orton is my argument against Roman. Okay. The difference between Roman and Orton is that Roman was shoved down your throat by the WWE for almost 20 years. You need to cheer for this guy. 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 And it got to the point where people were like, fuck, now I hate this guy. It's like me saying, Julian, you can't watch wrestling anymore. All you can do is go home and you can't watch wrestling. You can't look at comics. You can't do none of this shit. You go home, eat your dinner, you go to bed. If I told you that, you'd be like, man, fuck this guy. Damn, fuck this guy. I don't fuck listening to this guy. You would get so tired of it. You'd be like, yeah, I'm going to do this shit to spite him. People start hating Roman
that argument
to spite Vince.
Randy Orton was shoved down our throats because he was the blue chipper. Oh, he was the youngest WWE champion of all time. He was putting Evolution.
Yeah.
They strapped the rocket on this dude's back and they gave him just the hugest push ever for various reasons, but they still gave him the push. Oh, he's the Viper because we can't call him the Rattlesnake. He's the Legend Killer. He's the this. He's the that. There was always something. They pushed the shit out of him. The same way they pushed the shit out of Roman.
But the thing is, would he get over somewhere else with that gimmick? With everything that they're doing, would he be capable enough of getting over somewhere else?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. Just now, Roman I don't think Roman can get over in AEW with the gimmick that he has. Unless he was.
No.
No, he would. He would definitely get over with the
he has right now. Absolutely.
The gimmick that he had.
Oh no, no.
What gimmick did he have?
Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make.
There's the Shield and there's the Tribal Chief. What was in between? The Big Dog? That's not a gimmick.
That's not a gimmick.
You gotta eat dog food on a pole match. That's
sort of like comparing apples to oranges. That
the
is
Tribal Chief in AEW would be fucking awesome.
If he did that gimmick, and we're talking about like not just gimmicks but work rate.
Well, okay. Well, during our last show I said this. The Tribal Chief gimmick is iconic. He's done great with it.
Yes.
He has grown that character and made it memorable with the help of Paul Heyman, who is essential to this.
Paul Heyman saved his ass.
However, his work rate and his matches have not changed.
No, it's still the same.
But now because he is the Tribal Chief, and and he has this aggressive. It's not even aggressive. He's still doing the same shit he did before, but because it's the Tribal Chief gimmick, now people appreciate it. You guys got to remember, Hogan had a big boot and leg drop.
That was it.
Hogan in the WWE, Hogan was not doing a whole bunch of drop kicks, suplexes. He was scratching people's backs. I was watching some old Nitros the other night. He was brawling. He wasn't putting figure fours on nobody. He wasn't giving anyone the rings of Saturn. He wasn't giving anybody Argentinian bag breakers. I mean, punch, kick, big boot, leg drop. I mean, that's what he was doing. He hit a suplex every now and then, but not like a good one. He wasn't doing Tiger Driver 95. I'll tell you that much.
Nope.
Hogan ain't doing no 450 splashes off the top rope.
Nope. Oh, man.
But that motherfucker had the red and yellow phase, and then he had the NWO phase. And kept the wrestling world on fire and made a shitload of money doing it.
Sure did.
And that was selling out territories and selling out buildings, just like the Bucks, just like Kenny Omega, just like all these other people that weren't that Adam said weren't selling territories. MJF is another example of an old school presentation working in this era.
Yeah.
Okay.
MJF
I said this before. MJF is working his territory. MJF is selling. MJF is great. But what makes MJF great? The people he works with. Anybody can get on the mic. but it takes someone to be good on the mic against you. That's why MJF became a star with the whole CM Punk thing. That right there, in my eyes, MJF was already over because he kept the gimmick in the ring and out of the ring. MJF was already over. But what made MJF a bona fide fucking star was his feud with CM Punk. Because that brought character, that brought emotion to the character.
Because he was showing emotions for the first time.
That brought emotion to the character, which sold seats because people were the build between him and CM Punk, and then him going over on CM Punk 3 times.
Yeah,
bro.
Okay,
that was the perfect way to put someone in a position to grow as an individual. When this whole storyline started between him and CM Punk, I said the best thing they can do is put CM Punk over. It's just like I said about the bill with and Shane, you, me, and Drew talked about this. The bill with with Roman and Brock. When Roman showed up, when Roman finally wrestled on SmackDown, and it was the Usos and Roman in a
6-man tag.
In a 6-man tag, they should have had Brock's music play, and then Roman be like, "Oh, I ain't scared of that." As soon as Brock music hits, oh shit, I gotta go. And then the Usos would have lost.
Oh, sorry.
Roman would have lost. It would have protected the Usos. It would have protected Roman, and it would have still elevated the fact that the Street Profits finally got a decisive win. It would have showed that Riddle finally got a decisive win. Although Riddle shouldn't have been in that fucking match in the first place. It didn't make any sense. But instead of doing it the way they did it, putting the heels over on the go home show and then putting the heels over at the pay-per-view made no fucking sense. Bad Blood MJF working with a veteran made him a star. That's exactly what I said. Yeah. Working with CM Punk is what made MJF a star. MJF was just a dude who was good on the mic. That was a legit old school type of dude for a young guy, young age. But those were dime a dozen. You can find those MJF type of guys anywhere on the indies. You can find those MJF type of guys anywhere. But the fact that raw emotion was pulled out of him, and it was done on a national, worldwide like platform, dude, that lifted him and made him a superstar right there. And then beating a veteran made him a superstar. So like Detonation Kick fan said, he didn't think Wheeler Yuta or Daniel Garcia, like he didn't think those guys were stars. That Wheeler Yuta didn't belong in the Blackpool Combat Club. By him working with Mox and working with Bryan Danielson in those fucking matches, that where they beat the shit out of him and he came back tougher and showed that, yo, I'm young, I'm tough, and I ain't going nowhere. That made him a star. He belongs in that group. Last week, we seen Daniel Garcia tap out the American Dragon.
Correct.
Like he passed the fuck out. This is one of the toughest guys in the industry.
Yeah.
So if it was because of the head injury, whatever, whatnot, that match made Garcia a fucking star. And it wasn't the fact that Garcia is a great wrestler, because Garcia is a great wrestler. There's a million great wrestlers in the world today. But what made him a star was the way he was presented on that platform. It wasn't the fact that he comes down wearing trunks and boots and he's an old school guy. No, what made him a star was he got put over by a vet that made him look like money. Now Garcia is a main event player. Now Garcia is someone that looks like he can beat someone for the world title because he's beat a multiple time world champion now. Now he looks like a credible fucking star, a viable star.
All right, so check this out. So you're saying that some of these guys who are great workers, but don't have charisma, or somebody like MJF has raw emotion. He's a dime a dozen guy, but he has that raw emotion. That's what gets him over.
His wrestling style, like as a wrestler,
yeah,
he's not fucking like the best thing in the world. But what caps it off for him is that he has that gift to gab. He is great on the mic, and he has that emotion. He draws that shit out of people. It's like slapping someone's grandma.
Do you believe you would change your mind about Parker Boudreaux if he cut a fire promo that showed emotion?
If Parker Boudreaux had a personality
now
that
hold
made
on.
me want...
No.
I answer the question.
Who he is, Parker Boudreaux. Being who he is, if he just cut like a fire promo that was just
out of nowhere,
would you gravitate to him more, hate him less? I mean, like, would that kind of put him over to you, or would he have to do something extra? Like, would he have to change some ring work? Would he have to change his clothes? Would he have to get a catchphrase?
All that. He would have to become a complete wrestler for me to give a shit about him.
Okay.
He can be he doesn't have in-ring skill. See, here's the thing. Well, all these other guys we're talking about, they may not, if they have personality, they don't have skill, they have personality. If they have personality and skill, that's a plus. This guy has none. No personality, no fucking skill. He's just a big dude. That's it. He's Omos. Omos is just a big dude. Omos can't run the fucking ropes. You put him in Omos in the fucking wrist lock, he wouldn't know what the fuck to do. He's just a big dude with no fucking personality. He's just a big ass dude.
So he's Braun Strowman.
Same thing with Braun Strowman. Like they tried to give him a personality. They put him with Alexa Bliss, and they did that fucking little big tag team gimmick and the mixed match challenge. Still bullshit.
And to catch these hands. You're gonna catch these hands.
You can catch these hands. Okay. And what?
We've been at this, and it's already like 2 hours, 1 minute, and 47 seconds of the show.
You know what? You're right. MJF also worked with Cody first, someone who wanted to prove that Vince he could draw money. Cody, though, you can't even put Cody in this conversation because Cody is a great in-ring worker, and Cody is amazing on the mic. Cody tells stories. Cody is an anomaly. Let's just call it what it is. Cody's a fucking anomaly.
I've got this is my last
take. Then we gotta wrap it up.
Okay. You have a guy who blew himself up on the internet, had a great following, had a catchphrase, was decent in the ring, had a look, gets himself booked in every underground indie territory possible, but for some reason, no mainstream promotion has made him their champion. And I'm talking about Matt Cardona.
Mm-hmm.
So where is he missing it? Where he's kind of checked all the boxes that you talked about.
Matt Cardona isn't missing it. Matt Cardona was an NWA World Heavyweight Champion. That's a lineage that goes back 100 fucking years. Yeah. So in my opinion, that belt means more to me than the WWE Championship. You realize I'm an NWA guy. Look at all these belts behind me. They're all fucking NWA championships. I never wanted to be a WWE guy. I've always wanted to be an NWA guy because that's wrestling.
Why hasn't AEW tried to sign him? Or why hasn't AEW signed him? Or I mean,
he was with AEW. And remember, so he did show up at AEW. He even had a T-shirt.
He's making the rounds like Cody did. Cody was like, I made more money on the indies.
But Cody signed with someone. That's the difference.
Then,
they wanted to sign Matt Cardona to AEW. Matt Cardona didn't want to sign to AEW. He wanted to do the indies. He wanted to travel. He wanted to show himself. I mean, the dude's been with the WWE for like fucking 15 years.
Correct.
And literally had to push himself.
Which he did successfully.
Yes. But, the WWE is the pinnacle of sports entertainment. It's where everybody wants to go. It's once you make it to WWE, you're the best. Well, that's
his style was the pinnacle of sports entertainment. Woo, woo, woo.
Now look at him. Now he's himself. He's not a gimmick. He's Matt Cardona his fucking self. And now he's putting himself over and he's working his ass off and he's building himself. The guy has all the tools in the ring. A great fucking body. The guy's got the fucking mic work. Yep. The guy's a social media magnet. Everybody wants Matt Cardona. I mean, the dude was the NWA World Champion. The dude was a fucking new Ultimo Dragon. Do you see all the belts that dude held?
He was a new belt collector.
Like legit. And you want to talk about old school? Matt Cardano's an old school guy. He's not doing moonsaults off the top of cages and all this other bullshit and 720 corkscrews. But his gimmick and he's a complete package. He's got a good gimmick. He's got a great look. He's got fucking mic work. The guy knows how to promote himself. He is a prototype of a good wrestler. He's a business guy. He just doesn't want to sign a contract where he signs a contract and now he's forced to do woo, 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 woo. You know it. Again.
That will always be a
can you dig it, sucker? That fucking shit. Or some R-Truth shit where he can shuck and jive and jigaboo, all that other bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like when he can do that fucking shit. R-Truth is a damn good wrestler. I fucking hate that he sets black wrestlers back 100 years because we don't all shuck and jive and we don't all rap and we don't all do that stupid shit. You know? So the last thing, if Private Party were over, they wouldn't be in a 10-man tag match in Elevation this week. Thank the Bucks for helping them draw. The fact that they're on a 10-man tag team match, the fact that they're making money in this contracts, and that they're getting booked on indie companies all over the country, headlining indie companies, making money, selling seats. I'm pretty sure they're fucking over, buddy. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, because if they weren't over, they'd be Pretty Peter Avalon and the rest of the Wingmen. Just saying. And they'd be fucking. What was that guy's name? It got squashed today by See, we barely remember that guy's name because he's insignificant. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy the mixologist out there, Mr. Chemical Julian. For that dude in the chair, Shane Husky, this has been your boy the franchise. Starting shit nationwide, because that's what we do here on the Roundtable Pros podcast. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here live.
Yeah.
See you guys on Friday. Oh, yeah.
Go feed the ducks. Quack, quack.
Peace.